I am a 90s baby, but I am also a 90s baby that grew up watching professional wrestling. So I was there during the Attitude Era. I was there when Stone Cold went against the Federation. I was there when DX were causing chaos. I was there when Eddie Guerrero was doing his whole Latino heat angle with China. I was there when Right to Censor were also wreaking havoc. Which means I have also been there when the natural migration has happened, when these professional wrestlers suddenly decide to have an acting career, which is how today I accidentally found out that Big Bad Bill Goldberg played Santa in a horror movie, and I had not seen it. But if you don't know anything about Santa's Sleigh from 2005, let me quickly fill you in. Santa's Sleigh from 2005 is a horror comedy. After years of spreading joy on Christmas by doling out gifts and cheer, Santa Claus, who is actually a demon forced to be nice when he lost a bet to an angel, returns to his evil ways when the 1,000-year-old deal comes to an end. If you're new here, I go by Hordes, and if you're not new, welcome back. I talk about horror movies here on my channel on Mondays and Fridays, but as always, when it comes to watching movies that I've never seen before, I am now going to go and watch Santa's Sleigh off camera. So that way, if you too want to watch this movie about Big Bad Bill Goldberg wrecking house in a Santa suit, nothing will be spoilt for you, because nobody wants to watch a movie you've just watched somebody else watch from start to finish, and I keep it spoiler free here on my channel because nobody, and I mean nobody, likes spoilers. Vengeance! Imagine sitting around your table at Christmas thinking you can get away with some casual racism about Samoan people, and then Big Bad Bill Goldberg's Santa drops through your chimney and murders you and your entire family and yeets your dog into a ceiling fan. Seems justified to me, and it is safe to say today I am well and truly back in my comfort zone, because this is the level of insanity that I can get behind. Like, why is Santa's sleigh being pulled by a bison?
What did you just say?
The plot of this is like some nightmare version of like Jingle All the Way, the Santa story, a little bit of like Back to the Future and the WWE Attitude Era, all put into a blender, and it just kind of works. I'm not mad at it. Like, the grandpa in this is like a straight up like knockoff, but not full knockoff of Doc Brown from Back to the Future, just minus the time travel element, who has been in a 1,000-year-long beef with Big Bad Bill Santa. Like, what is going on here? The opening scene happens, Big Bad Bill turns up and absolutely wrecks house, kills a bunch of entitled racists, and then this plot just continues to get wilder and wilder from there. There is a few moments where a certain R slur is used, which I will not excuse. I'm just going to point that out there. So this happens, and then all of a sudden Big Bad Bill is beating up a man who tries to pickpocket him and ramming something into his eye. And then the next time you see Santa, he has decided to take a casual trip to a titty bar and absolutely goes wild with the dancers before blowing on a lump of coal and telling all the dancer ladies, I have to try and keep this PG, that they are all naughty, and he torches the place to the ground. And this is all within the first 30 minutes. And then they throw in the fact that Santa's backstory with Grandpa is told in claymation. Like, I kid you not, like, I was not expecting the wild-ass plot that is Santa's Sleigh.
What the hell happened?
The humour in this has no right to be as funny as it is. The sexy dancer ladies all have pun names for a start, which is immediately gonna win me over. You give me a good pun name, whether you're a drag queen or a sexy dancer lady, sold. Then you add on top of this that the tagline for the police is called crime has no place in hell, because the town is called Hell Township. Like, it continues. Big Bad Bill yeets a criminal into a trash can that has taken out the trash written up. Like, it just continues to get wilder and wilder. And while I mentioned that there is some casual use of a certain R slur in this, I will say that there are also a couple uses of casual kind of like homophobia. I get that this was 2005 and it's very common in movies from the early 2000s to feature this kind of like, ooh, you're a like dainty feminine man kind of language, but it doesn't mean that it is not like cringy, and it hurts my soul just a little bit to hear it nowadays. I just need to include that in there. The physical comedy in this is equally as redonkulous. There is a part in this where Santa is flying through the sky on his sleigh in a high-speed snowmobile chase, launching grenade Christmas parcels. Didn't have that on my 2024 bingo card, but I certainly did, yeah, like, tick, love that. And Santa doing a kip-up in the back of a moving pickup truck was also not something I knew that I needed until today.
Show off.
I love that Santa isn't the happy, chubby, holly jolly kind of Santa. He's the son of Satan, who has turned into like a buff muscle daddy demon man who hates kids and is only being nice to them because he lost a 1,000-year-long bet with an angel. Like, again, I didn't know I needed this version of Santa in my life. I have seen a number of movies starring professional wrestlers trying to get into the acting game. And I'm gonna go on record and say that Big Bad Bill Goldberg as Santa, just in this movie, might be the best acting gig that I have ever seen because it was so unexpected. And I've now decided that going forth in my life, the only version of Santa that I will accept is like the big buff daddy version of Santa with the bearded braid beard, because nothing will ever come close ever again. If somebody had said to me prior to this movie, how do you beat Big Bad Bill as Santa, I would never have guessed in a million years what the answer was going to be in this movie. If you don't know, go in knowing nothing. Like, the level of insanity, like, I did not expect Santa to be some sort of Olympic athlete, put it that way.
There's a Winter Olympics?
The action sequences are hands down one of the best things in this movie, and Santa is feral. There is a scene in this where he is wailing on a bunch of Christmas carolers using any weapon that he can get on hand. And trust me, this town is covered in Christmas tat, so he has got plenty of options. And the scene on Christmas Day, the very first scene on Christmas Day, when he's decapitating all of the nativity scene statues, if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. That cracked me. I was not expecting that. Loved that scene. Like, this movie, it just had no chill. It had no chill. It went from joke to joke to joke and went, you know what? Let's just keep escalating it. Let's just see where we can go. The practical effects are fine. We'll say that they are fine. I have seen far worse in Christmas horror movies, let's put it that way. The CGI, though, it looks like I made it for a HOH Productions like replica. Like when you see Santa's sleigh like bobbing in the background and it's wobbly, like, yes, it adds something to the charm of this movie, but I have to point out how dated the soundtrack is for this movie. And even if you aren't going to watch this movie, treat yourself, because it's here on YouTube, to listening to the soundtrack for this. It is so 2005. It was basically turned up wearing a Juicy Couture tracksuit and Ugg boots while singing mid-2000s Christmas songs, but the hip-hop version of Christmas songs. Like, treat yourself. In the end, I am actually going to give Santa's Sleigh from 2005 a 4 out of 5 stars, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Like, this movie had no right to be as good as it was. I went in expecting absolutely nothing. And if you want a horror movie that is just insane, if you want Santa riding a Zamboni in an ice rink trying to run over teenagers, you need to watch this movie. But my opinion isn't the only one that matters, which begs the question, should you personally watch Santa's Sleigh from 2005? If you like your horror movies flavoured with buff Santas, wacky grandpas, puns, chesty besties, insane weaponry, action sequences, like anything listed here, as well as a sprinkle of the WWE Attitude Era thrown in just for good measure, then you are absolutely the sort of person who will enjoy the insanity that is Santa's Sleigh from 2005. So there you have it, my initial thoughts and my review for my first time watching Santa's Sleigh from 2005. If you have also seen this movie, I would love to know what your thoughts and opinions are down in the comments section down below, or if this is one that you would be interested in watching, I will also leave a link to justwatch.com like I always do in my description bar so you can find out where this is streaming in your country. And trust me when I say I was not feeling festive at all until I watched this movie. And you know what? I'm kind of feeling that much more Christmassy at this point. If you would like to know where else you can find me though, I am also over on Instagram and Letterboxd at HordesOfHorror, where I am so close to watching 190 horror movies so far this year, which is crazy. So there is plenty that I haven't spoken about right here on YouTube. But speaking of YouTube, I'll be back on Monday with another solo movie review, and this time it is the second Christmas horror movie that I have picked, and we are heading over to Finland, where we're about to dig up Santa, who has been buried under the earth. So until next time, bye.